morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Now, before we begin, I wanted to let you know that all the teachers and I were talking and we thought of this really great idea. Now, the idea is that we would choose one student from each of our classes, and if that student is showing hard work, commenting on our videos, or maybe your parent is showing us videos of your work, we would choose you and you would get to choose 3 of your friends that you would want to video chat with for the week, okay? So make sure that you're doing all your hard work, you're taking your time, and maybe you'll get chosen. So keep it up. All right, so make sure you have your materials ready to go. Your packet should say Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. And if you don't have it, make sure you have your paper and a pencil. Okay, let's get started. So put those math brains on because we're going to do some fun work today. All right, number 1. Fabian has 16 toys in his room. He has 6 less toys than his sister. How many toys does his sister have? Label more and less. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 minute to label who has more and who has less. Remember to read it carefully, and this will describe to you who has more or less. Okay, so take a minute to do that. Okay, we're going to move on. So I'm going to read it and I'm going to label who has more or less. Fabian has 16 toys in his room. He has 6 less toys. So I know when it says he that they're talking about Fabian, and we know that he has 6 less. So I'm going to write less on top of Fabian. And I automatically should know that Fabian's sister has more since he has less. Now I'm going to read the question. How many toys does his sister have? So we're looking to see how much his sister has. We're going to circle sister, and we're going to know that we have to add because it says more on top of his sister. Now that you know you're going to add, take a moment to write your number sentence using the numbers in the problem, knowing that you have to add. Okay, so your number sentence should have been 16 plus 6 equals question mark. These are our parts, and our total is missing, so we know we have to add. Now I want you to do a strategy to show how you're going to get your total. Okay, I'm going to start my strategy. So I'm going to put 16, and then I'm going to draw 6 circles. I'm going to count up because I'm adding. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now you can do this with me. I'm going to write a number sentence that matches my work. So 16 plus 6 equals 22. I'm going to box this because this was my missing total. And then this was my part. Now what you have to do is you need to answer this in a complete sentence. How many toys does his sister have? So take a moment to answer that in a complete sentence. Okay, I'm going to get started. So, how many toys does his sister have? Fabian's sister has 22 toys. All right, let's get started with number 2. Break up the number 14 into 3 parts in 2 different ways. Use circles to show your work. So we can do this in many different ways, so your answer doesn't have to match mine completely, just as long as you're making sure that when you add your 3 parts together that you have 14. Okay, so I want you to do your first way and then take time and do your second way. So I'm going to give you some time for that right now. Okay, I'm going to start my first way. All right, let's see. And as I'm making circles, I'm actually going to make a number sentence that matches the circles as well. So if you didn't get to do that, that's fine. You can add that in there as I'm doing it. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 circles plus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. Let me make sure that I have 14 circles in total and that I did this correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So I had 4 in that first part, 6 right here, and then 4 again right here, and I know that all equals 14. All right, I'm gonna try a different way. So I don't wanna do exactly what I did here. I wanna do it in a completely different way. And I wanna make sure I have 14 when I finish. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, now I can make my number sentence. So in this one I had 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Let's see, yep. Okay. Let me just make sure I had 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now, before you go on to the next part of your packet, if you are a little bit confused by something, you should circle the number or make a note somewhere on a piece of paper. That way, when you conference with your teachers, you know exactly what you need to talk about when you're doing math, okay? I'm going to read question number 3. Compare the set of numbers using the correct symbol, the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. Then explain how you got your answer. So you want to make sure that you're using one of these symbols and drawing it in this circle right here. So first, let's look at this problem. What symbol do you think that you're going to put in the middle here? Is 17 less than 71? Is 17 greater than 71? Or is 17 equal to 71? Take a few seconds to decide which symbol you're going to draw in the middle here. Okay, so if you did this symbol, you are correct because the alligator mouth is always eating the bigger number. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to explain, how do you know that 71 is bigger than 17? In your explanation, you want to make sure that you talk about maybe the number line or the hundreds chart. Maybe you're going to talk about tens and ones, okay? So you want to explain how you know this number is bigger than 17, okay? So I'll give you about a minute to write your explanation. Okay, I'm going to write my explanation. I'm actually going to write all 3 that you could have written. So if you wrote one of these answers, nice job. So 71 is greater than 17 because 71 has more tens. You can also say that 17 is less than 71, and you can say that you know that because 17 goes before 71 on the number line and also on the hundreds chart. So I'm also going to write a different answer like that as well. So 17 is less than 71 because it goes before 71 on the number line and the hundredths chart. I'll give you just a moment just to look at that and just to understand what I wrote. So there was different ways you could answer this. If you wrote something similar to what I had, then that's good. Okay, let's go on to question number 4. Write 532 using digits, okay? Make sure you know that it says digits. You're not drawing a picture of it. So take a minute to do that. Okay, so hopefully you wrote with digits 532. And now we have the second part of the direction. What is the value of the digit in the tens place? So we know that this is our hundreds, this is our tens, and this is our ones. So what is the value of the digit in the tens place? I'll give you some time to figure that out. Okay, so something I like to do is I like to draw out just how many tens that I have since we're looking at the tens place. I have 3 tens. I'm going to draw 3 tens out. Now my value is not 3. We have to figure out what 3 tens would equal. So 10, 20, 30. Okay, so my value is actually 30. Remember, circle anything that you think you have trouble on. That way you can go over your answers with your teacher. All right, we're going to move on to question number 5. Before we keep going, I'm thinking that we need a little bit of a dance break. So I'm going to pick some music and you can just shake it out and you can show me your best moves. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. I had a great time dancing, and I hope you did too. Okay, so make sure those materials are ready because we're going to question number 5. All right, it says, answer the following questions. What is 10 more than 63? I'm actually going to read all 3 of these, and I want you to take the time to do each one because it doesn't have anything where you need to do strategies, so we're going to just do this real quick. What is 10 more than 63? What is 10 more than 49? What is 10 less than 35? So I'll give you about a minute to do all 3 of these on your own, and then we'll go over it together. Okay, what is 10 more than 63? Well, if we're looking at the tens place and we add just one more 10, then we're going to get 73. What is 10 more than 49? Again, if we add one more 10 to 4, then we're going to get a 5, so that would be 59. The next one's a little bit different because it doesn't say more, it says less. So what is 10 less than 35? We're actually going to take away one 10 from 3, so that would make it 2 10s. So now we have 25. All right, one last problem. Kiss your brains. You all have been working so hard, you're almost finished. What number does this picture of base 10 blocks show? Now we have a lot going on here, so one thing I'm going to remind you to do is if you have enough 10s and 1s, you should regroup these so that you don't have to label everything, okay? So let's label our hundreds together, and then we're going to regroup our 1s and our 10s. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. Now, you're going to regroup this. You're going to see if you can make another 100 with your 10s, and then you're going to see if you can make a 10 stick with your 1s. So go ahead and do that, and then I want you to write your number using words when you finish. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish this problem. I'm going to see if I have 10 10s that I can regroup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I'm going to mark it so that I don't make any mistakes and making sure I circle 10 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have 2 10s left over. I'm not going to circle those. I'm going to cross this out because I no longer have these 10s, and I'm going to make another 100 up here. And since the last number that we wrote was 600, I'm going to write here 700. Now, before I keep going, I want to regroup my 1s and make it a 10 stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to circle. I'm going to cross this off, and I'm going to make an arrow and make another 10 stick right here. Okay, so now I'm finished with the regrouping. The last number I wrote was 700, so now I'm going to count by 10, starting with 700. 710, 720, 730. Now I'm going to count by 1s. I don't have any 1s yet, so remember we're going to put a digit in that 1's place. 731, 732. Now I'm going to write the number using words. 700 30 dash 2. Make sure that your spelling was correct. I'll give you a little time to just look at that and you can fix any mistakes if you have any. All right, so if you finish looking at it, you're all done. You did such a great job. I'll see everyone on Wednesday. Bye, guys.